Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube, coming to you outside of Bryant-Denny Stadium following Nick Saban's press conference. You can watch that right here on Bama Football on YouTube. A couple points that I wanted to share with you after Coach Saban's press conference is the fact that he didn't release a depth chart. Now, what's the significance of this? Well, really not too much other than the fact that he's never done this before. Every single year on this Monday, we get a depth chart. That's why people are making a big deal about it. I want to get your take inside the comment box. Do you feel that this is a roster management tactic? Now with the transfer portal, kind of the world that we live in, if you're not a starter, you're going to exit the program? Or do you feel, as Saban has said, that he wants to continue the competition within each position? Now, I think it's important to note that Alabama, going into the season, they had 21 players enter the transfer portal. It's kind of the world that we live in. With that said, Alabama did bring over a few transfers, with most of them being starters outside of Tyler Buchner, the quarterback transfer from Notre Dame. And of course, we don't know who the quarterback is going to be at this point on Monday going into week one. So I want to hear from you inside the comment box about the depth chart situation. And Coach Saban said, look, I get it. You care about the depth chart. I'm not releasing one at this point. It is what it is. He did comment on Jalen Milroe today, which I thought were some good comments. And he did say that Jalen has improved in terms of staying in the pocket. I like that. You know, I think when we look to Jalen Milroe, we see him as a dual threat quarterback. But if you can stay in the pocket, go through your progressions, that's a sign of maturity as a quarterback. I feel that Jalen has a lot of intangibles. We did see him in 2 games last season, not a large sample size, but the games that we did see him, he has playmaking ability. We know that. How is he going to fare on Saturday when faced against a rush, when given the keys to the team? We're all tracking Jalen Milroe's progress, but Coach Saban said that he has made some progress and wants to see some continued consistency from his quarterback. Are we going to see multiple quarterbacks playing on Saturday? Coach Saban was asked that question. Coach Saban said that he is taking it day by day, and as he said, the best player will play. So we'll continue to see which quarterback plays, how many reps. I'm sure every single throw will be under the microscope. I have a statistic question for you, kind of going back to Jalen Milroe, and I asked our viewers on the live show on Sunday night, if Jalen Milroe does get the start, I feel he does. Do you feel that we'll see more than 15 rushing attempts from Jalen Milroe? More or less than 15 rushing attempts. And those are natural rushing attempts. It's not like design plays. I'm just saying 15 rushing attempts from Milroe. More or less inside the comment box. I'm kind of going with less. Coach Saban did talk about Middle Tennessee and the challenge that they will present Alabama. Now, of course, Alabama is a 39.5-point favorite in this game. But he said, look, last season, Middle Tennessee State was able to beat Miami, who was ranked number 25. What's notable about that game is last year, Miami's defensive coordinator was Kevin Still. Well, where is Kevin Still now? Kevin Still is here at the University of Alabama as the DC. And one of the ways that Middle Tennessee was able to take advantage of Miami was they were able to spread Miami out, and they had nearly 2 wide receivers in that game catch for 200 yards. The teams that gave Alabama fits last year in the 2 games they lost, LSU and Tennessee, they spread Alabama out. Middle Tennessee has an air raid style attack. Now they do have a new quarterback and they lost some wide receivers, but they do return 8 starters to the offensive side of the ball, and their offensive line is mostly intact. So I think those are the challenges that Coach Saban was talking about. And he also said that, look, when you have an air raid style, that your players are going to be forced at times to go into man coverage. Now, while you have Kool-Aid and while you have Terrion returning with a good amount of experience along with Malachi Moore, you do have some new guys to that secondary. Let's talk about Caleb Downs. He's a freshman. Of course, he's ready. He plays against the best every single day. But when Saturday comes, it's a different speed. But it will present an opportunity for Alabama's secondary to get ready for that Week 2 matchup against Texas, because you know that Texas is going to sling the ball all over the field. At least you would assume that, being the weapons that they have. On the defensive side, Middle Tennessee, over the last 3 seasons, they have nearly 80 turnovers. Last season, for example, they had 20 interceptions. And I think that's noteworthy because Alabama returns a quarterback with limited experience, whether you look at Jalen Milroe or Ty Simpson or Tyler Buchner. And Middle Tennessee's defense is able to play opportunistic football. So look for them to try to create some turnovers, try to make momentum changing plays on the defensive side of the ball. I think when you look at Middle Tennessee, their defense overall, it's kind of a blue-collar type of defense, which I like. I mean, you're going to get some pressure, but the guys in the secondary do play opportunistic football. Coach Saban did mention regarding an injury report, and most of this team has been healthy, which is very noteworthy. Same thing with Middle Tennessee. But Devonta Smith, who plays in the secondary, yes, Alabama has another Devonta Smith, is out with a foot injury. He didn't say if he was going to play or not on Saturday, but he did say when talking about the safeties, he mentioned Caleb Downs, Jalen Key, the transfer from UAB, and Malachi Moore. Didn't mention Devonta because he said he's been out with injury. Otherwise, he'd be in that category with the safeties as well. So as soon as we know more on Devonta Smith, we'll bring that to you regarding an injury. On the recruiting front, Jay Lindsey, who is a 6'5", 235-pound tight end out of Butler, Alabama, did decommit from Mississippi State, and he's kind of on flip watch for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now, I get it, Alabama already has a tight end in Caleb Odom, and the guy is phenomenal, but I think Jay Lindsey, he's pretty athletic, and I think you need different components to that tight end room, kind of waiting for him to flip. He's out of the class of 2024. Julian Sain, your quarterback, #1 quarterback in the nation, looks flawless. Week 2, he looked amazing. I mean, the footwork, the playmaking ability, I mean, this guy has it all. Who wouldn't want to come to Alabama to play for him? He's clearly the next guy in line. Ryan Williams, the guy is shot out of a cannon. That's the type of speed that Alabama needs. That's the type of speed that we're accustomed to at the wide receiver position. Currently, the class of 2025 prospect out of Saraland High School. I mean, he's a big-time playmaker. He could actually reclassify. That's kind of what we're hearing. We're tracking that. Wouldn't that be a slam dunk to class of 2024? I think he comes in and he could potentially play immediately with that type of electric speed. Hey fam, thank you very much for watching our coverage. Hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe. I would love a score prediction inside the comment box. Alabama's favored by 40 in this game. Do you think that Alabama will really beat Middle Tennessee by 40 points? I want to get your score prediction in the comment box. Hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe. Monday Night Quarterback with Coach Sean and Coach Smook coming up right at 7 p.m. and more coverage your way right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Coming to you outside of Bryant-Denny Stadium, Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube.